All right, what's up, guys? My name is Brandon, and welcome to Audio Addiction. We got our friend Omar from. He'll tell you the name of the band because I don't want to screw it up, and I've had a running joke with screwing up everybody's band names because I'm retarded. So, why don't you introduce yourself, man? What you do in the band?
Hey, how you guys doing? My name's Omar Veres. I'm the singer of In Your Memory. So I'm 1/5 of the entity of IYM.
Nice, awesome. So first question I got for you guys. How did you go about finding like your other band members? I know you guys are from like other states, as I saw from
hmm
like your Facebook. So I'm just curious how you guys found out about each other. Did you go through like a band finding site, or did you just happen to see each other at shows, or something just interesting?
Yeah, no, definitely. To be honest, I mean, it 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 wasn't from the show aspect. It wasn't like we were all raised together, anything like that. The band actually started with Alex and John, which is our guitarist and our drummer. And Alex was really the guy that had the helmet, if I may, or the helm of looking for other members. He played in a few other bands in the past, and it didn't really go his way, and they kind of didn't really play what he was looking to play. So he was like, you know what, let me try it out. Let me be the one to kind of do my own thing. So at the time, him and John looked for other members. They tried the whole Craigslist thing. They picked up Troy,
Yeah,
who's our bass player now. At the time, he was too, let's just say, he was just so used to playing reggae and stuff like that. So it was like every early song that they had completely had like a different feel.
that's crazy.
So even though he liked like a lot heavier music and stuff like that, so he slowly had to incorporate that because even though he listened to rock, he was always used to playing reggae.
That's crazy.
Jams and fills and stuff like that. A few years after that, I stumbled upon them when they were recording a few demos, and I was a blues jazz guitarist, like just
Really?
doing studio work
Wow.
and stuff like that. I honestly didn't even sing in the band or any band per se. But yeah, no. So we exchanged information. I actually missed playing rock because before that, 2 years before that, I was in a bunch of like punk bands and stuff like that. So I was like, you know what? I've been playing blues and jazz way too long. This is too clean for me. I need something a little bit more cutthroat. So yeah. So after that, we met up. We spoke. A few months later, I ended up joining. And then, in your memory, we kind of kept it at a four piece for about a year and a half, just trying to see if we can kind of blend before we kind of announce ourselves and
Yeah.
have like a good chemistry or a good vibe as far as music is concerned. So then we picked up we were like, hey, listen, why not try another guitarist? And at that time, we played a few shows in like West Virginia and Fredericksburg, and a lot of the bands that we played with, they ended up having five-piece bands, and we realized that having a singer that just speaks when the music isn't playing,
Yeah.
kind of keeps everyone engaged. So we kind of wanted a little bit of that. And then at the time, the guys forced me to start singing after a embarrassing day of karaoke. And
Oh
then I
man.
finally grew the balls to actually kind of get into the role of the front man, if I may.
Yes. Yes.
And yeah, and after that, we were like, hey, listen, let's look for a new guitarist. We tried someone out, he didn't really work out. So then a friend of mine pushed Casey onto me. And the funny thing is that Casey was the first person that sent me all of his stuff. But he was the last guy that we called over because he was so annoying, right? He was, and it was like a good annoying. Like he was just so aggressive because he
Yeah,
wanted to be a part of something. Yeah, and then that's right around the time we wrote Reflections with Layers of Lies, right? We released that. We started getting a buzz, and we decided to keep it at five.
that's awesome. That's awesome. Is it hard for you guys to do like recording and stuff because you are from different states, or do you like send each other files? Because I've heard that before.
Well, the good thing is that like if you or anyone listening has been to the DC area, DC, Maryland, and Virginia, we're all kind of like all put together,
Oh
right?
yeah,
So,
true. Never mind. Yeah.
exactly. So like in one day, I could probably drive through all three locations. So John lives in Virginia. Alex lives in DC. So does Troy, and then me and Casey live together in College Park, Maryland.
Oh, nice, nice. Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
but in this case, Casey's originally from Ohio.
Oh, okay. That's where I thought I saw it from because I was like, it's like Ohio. That's kind of a drive. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, that's cool. I've never really heard about that. The reggae thing got me interested because I was like, I would have never
Hmm.
expected reggae. That's
Yeah,
probably
dude.
like the last thing I would have expected. So that's cool. Speaking of DC or DC area, what are some of your favorite places to visit? They could either be like musical or non-musical related.
Okay. Well, I mean, the place we always go to, as we call it, when you're with the shits, right? Um, we at U Street, literally, like that whole block.
Nice. Okay.
Whenever we want to just go out and just hang out and stuff like that, we either go out to U Street. There's a bunch of bars, a bunch of like restaurants and stuff like that that you guys could definitely check out if you're just coming through. Other than that, we also do find ourselves going to Rock and Roll Hotel all the time. That seems to be like the meetup spot for us.
Cool.
Yeah, I mean those are the two main spots in when we go out to DC. But when we go out to Baltimore, typically we find ourselves in Fells Point. I mean that whole area is just full of bars, full of like different. I mean people outside playing music, people inside playing music. It's really festive. So whenever we go up there and we end up meeting up with our other guys, like our the people that support us as far as
Yeah.
merch and video and stuff like that, we end up just going up there and staying with them.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Um, we kind of mentioned this a little bit while we were talking before, the interview started, but what are some of your musical influences, either like yourself by yourself or like your whole band? You could either name for your band, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, I'll say from the past till now, it's completely changed. I know for me personally, I mean, I grew up on like Thrice. That was just like
Nice, yeah.
my go-to. Even like a lot of the way I riff, I play guitar and stuff like that. All of it comes from that realm. Um, as far as like vocally, I find myself always leaning onto like people like Corey Taylor or Dave Grohl or stuff like that in
Yeah.
that realm. As far as the other guys, I know John and Troy, they seem to be the heavier guys. They're the guys that like polyrhythms and things like that. So
Yeah.
they're like into like periphery and polyphia
Yes, nice,
and
nice.
that whole stuff. And it's good since they're the rhythm section, so they're always on point,
Yeah, yeah.
and they always try to throw that in anytime they get. Alex is definitely the pop punk guy. Any song that has to do with like a girl or like a love song, he'll be the guy like, oh my god,
My
song's so
heart.
beautiful, my heart, oh my god. Yeah, and then Casey, he's kind of all around. Like he likes a little bit of the heavier stuff, but then whenever we call him out on it, he's like, oh no, I like folk. So he tries to throw some folk and some tappy stuff here and there. But I know when he was a kid, he was always into like Cirque Survive and that whole
Yeah,
realm.
Circus Survive is great.
Yeah, yeah. So I mean, that's kind of where we're all at in different points. I know lately I've definitely been into like the whole hardcore scene, like the whole Defeater and that whole realm, a
Nice,
lot of
nice.
Dispute and that whole
Yeah, a lot of
realm.
dispute. Yeah, they're
Yeah, so
awesome.
I know exactly. I know I checked them out a few weeks back. But yeah, no, I'm a sucker for that.
Oh, what do you think of the new Thrice record?
I don't know, man. I mean, I don't know. I'm also a sucker of like for like reviews and stuff like that. So I was
Yeah,
checking
yeah,
up a bunch of people's reviews, and everyone was kind of on the same page. I mean, the way I see it is, I get it. We're all getting older.
yeah,
We're all looking at different things in different ways now. But I know I'm a sucker for all their old stuff.
yeah. I'll have
It,
to
it
go.
just is
I
what it
had to go
is.
back because like I was going to do a review on it, but you know how things are. That you got to get them out in like two
Yeah,
seconds, or somebody's gonna beat you
yeah.
to it. But I wanted to do it, but I listened to it all the way through, and I like it a lot. Like being have not listened to them for like before. I had not
Hmm.
listened to them at all. Like going into
What?
this,
Okay.
like I've heard of them. I know they're like the OGs, along with like Thursday,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
all the older like pop post-hardcore, like from first to last, like those types of
Hmm.
bands. But I never really gave them a solid listen. So
Yeah,
I'll have to go back and listen to some of their older stuff. But I really like their new record too. So
yeah,
maybe it's just because I'm a newer fan.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I'd like it because I'm not coming into something that I already know.
Exactly.
But
Well, I mean, one thing I'll say about Dustin is like nowadays, especially like with his solo stuff,
yeah,
he's more of a storyteller,
yeah,
you know.
exactly.
So that definitely kind of paves the way, especially with this newer stuff, where it's not that many there's all these tricks and all this. It's more like
Yeah.
cutthroat, straight through it. Here's a story. You either like it or you don't. You know.
That's very true.
Um, yeah, yeah, yeah. And it's funny you say that because it's like The other guy, I think I'm the only member in the band that actually likes. That's like the fanboy of Thrice. All the other guys really got into like it was either you went Thrice or you went Under Oath. You know, so all
Yeah,
the other guys are
well, I
really
mean,
into Under Oath.
Under Oath. Speaking Under Oath, I'm wearing Under Oath shirt.
Yeah, hell yeah,
But yeah, I would have, yeah, I'd have to say more Under Oath for me, but I'll
yeah,
have to go back and listen to Thrice. Everybody's been saying like, "Yo, go listen to Thrice, go listen to
hell
Thrice,"
yeah,
and I'm like, "All right, I'll go listen to them."
hell
But
yeah.
but this kind of ties into the musical influences. I guess some bands that you have been listening to, either locally that you see at shows, or like
hmm
signed bands, like just that you've been jamming recently.
Okay. Yeah, and that's another on the road debate that we always have, like new music. Well, I know as far as signed bands, I've been listening to bands like, yeah, I've been listening to bands like, Night Verses and Let
Nice,
Live.
nice, nice, nice.
I checked out, obviously, I listened to Defeater and that whole deal.
Yeah,
I was listening to the new Seosin when we were in LA
yeah.
I guess like a month ago or something like that. Just checking it out, just because obviously now we have
They have
Anthony
Anthony.
Green's,
They have Anthony.
yeah,
Yeah.
back exactly. So we're giving that a listen. As far as locally, I know I've always found myself in my band. We always go back and forth with it. But I know I'm excited for my boys in Faders to release their next EP.
Nice.
They're
Okay.
from
Cool.
Baltimore, also my guys in Birthright. Um, but from locally from our area as well. I mean, we have other bands that kind of have more like of a poppier kind of vibe. DC has like a really big indie kind of
Yeah.
movement that's
Yeah. Definitely.
coming around as well. Um, but yeah, I know the other guys kind of like more of the pop punkier stuff. But those are the bands I know I've personally been listening to lately.
That's awesome. And you'll have a chance to kind of shout them out later. I have a question for that. But
hmm
so how's the DC like Virginia scene like? I guess some positives and negatives. I don't know how long you guys have been like playing in that kind of I guess circuit per se, but
hmm
um, what are just some positive and negatives that you've got out of like the scene and stuff?
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, even though we're the way we say it, even though DC birthed us, it's like Baltimore raised us, you know? So it's like Baltimore definitely, any show we had, whether if it's from the beginning, the early ages and things like that, definitely started in the Baltimore world. Even like when it came to, the first scenes that we jumped into, mainly with our music, it's like we either get paired with bands that are too heavy or bands that
Or
are too
too
light,
light? Yeah.
you know? And the music that we have recorded when we display it live comes out a little bit more aggressive. There's more yells. There's more like things like that. But as far as the scene, yeah, no, I mean Baltimore, it's starting to kind of get back where it was at. There's a few bands that are definitely, um, you know, I want to say as far as progression, career progression, they're a little further out, and a lot more fans and followers are starting to group up behind them. So yeah, no, definitely, that's happening in Baltimore. The funny thing is that from what I've seen, there's like a pop punk kind of scene when it comes to Baltimore, and a post hardcore scene in Baltimore,
Yeah.
and maybe like if two or three groups of people just made friends, that whole scene could turn
Wait.
into one.
Yeah,
You
that's
know?
crazy.
So that I know that's what I'm waiting on. I feel like with a few shows that we have lined up now,
It's gonna
it's
come
probably
around.
it's gonna bridge, right, and then that's gonna go down. In DC, DC is like another beast because I don't know if you noticed, like a lot of bands don't really tour through DC
Yeah,
because
that's what
first
I.
off,
Yeah.
exactly, it's hard to get into DC, and then when you do, it's kind of like the promoter for the show like lives in New York, or the owner for this
Yeah,
venue
lives
lives somewhere
somewhere else. Yeah.
else. Exactly. I mean, thankfully, I know we've built some partnerships there, so we've been able to get friends of ours from Virginia and friends of ours from Baltimore into DC.
That's cool.
So that's super dope. So we're definitely trying to build that. But like I said earlier, I mean, there's a big indie kind of vibe, but
Yeah.
the indie bands, they kind of stick to house shows, and those house shows in
Uh,
DC are starting to get so much bigger than them just renting out a venue and hosting a show. You
yeah,
know,
definitely. Yeah.
and then Virginia is a little different too because it's like outside of Virginia, other than like Fear Cliff, which is like this skateboard park that we kind of turned into a venue spot, which is dope.
That's awesome.
Um, all the other spots are maybe like 45 minutes to an hour out. which
Oh
we'll still
wow.
make the commute. Like we'll play Richmond like on the same tour,
Yeah,
and we'll have friends from here drive also down there
that's
for it
crazy.
as well.
That's
You
cool.
know?
It's good to have like friends that'll come out and see you too, like from other places. Like I do hear that quite often. I feel that's kind of like a thing with our type of music or this type of
Yeah.
scene music is that like people really do care about like traveling out to see them.
Hmm.
So if you guys ever come to Jersey, Philly area, let us know. We'll come see you guys for sure.
We definitely will.
Um, but getting back to the questions, this one's a fun one. Uh, if you could pick a song to cover, what would it be?
Other than Mulan.
I mean, you could. Oh yeah, I saw that too. That was sick. Oh
Yeah.
man, that was
Oh
awesome.
man. To cover,
Yeah.
honestly, I know Casey would love to cover Enter Sandman, not Metallica. I'm talking about like the old school. Mr.
Yeah,
Sandman,
yeah.
bring me a day. Yeah. He always plays that thing at sound check. But other than that, dude, I don't know. I mean, I've been listening to a lot of the band called Magic, like
Yeah,
that
yeah,
reggae
yeah.
band.
Magic. Yeah.
Yeah, I've been rocking out to those tunes for quite some time. I personally would like to do that. I know it's completely different than what we're accustomed to, but with the summer, it's a gorgeous day right now in DC. I would love to just drink a beer and just chill.
You could just put your own spin on it. You know what I mean? Your
Exactly.
band's spin on it. This one's also another kind of like funnish question. Oh,
Oh, wait, what happened? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Sorry.
nah, it's all good.
Hmm.
Another kind of funnish question. What's your favorite food to eat?
Food to eat.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not sure if you know, but
Okay.
I'm Dominican, so
That's all right.
if like as far as me, I'm a fan of plantains and
Oh,
that whole
nice.
realm of thing.
Nice, nice, nice.
So I mean, if I could eat just literally just salami and plantains all day, I definitely would. Like that's the dish when it comes to being Dominican.
That's awesome. That's probably like the most interesting one that I've gotten. I've gotten like pizza, like
uh,
burgers, stuff like that, just like regular things. So that's quite an interesting,
yeah, dude,
interesting
I
little
freak
thing.
out. And like Casey, ever since he moved in, he's always like knocking on my door, like, dude, can we eat some more plantains, man? I'm like, dude, you're acting more Caribbean than me, man.
I'll have to send him like a Facebook message and be like, "Yo, where the plantains at?"
Exactly. He'll love it. I'm about to get him a shirt.
All
Got
right, yeah. Where
plantains
where's the plantains?
with a banana on it.
What? Oh, that's great. We also talked about this a little earlier before the interview, but what do you do for a living? I mean, you kind of go roll through it a little bit.
Yeah. So I'm in the back room now. No, so I'm a manager at T-Mobile.
Okay,
So that's what I do. I'm over here, telling people,
over here working.
yeah, working
Yeah,
every day,
every
trying to
day.
coach and manage and develop people,
Exactly.
so that they can obviously either spend money in their vices or in their family,
Or come see
But-
you at a show. You know.
or come see me at a show, right?
If you could have a dream job besides music, what would it be?
I mean, honestly, and I think if everything does go well with the
Yes.
music, this might be the next step as far as keeping me busy. I would like to invest in local businesses,
Nice.
like as
Okay.
far as like startups and things like that. I know there's been a lot of startups in the DC area with it's like it's not just a bar. Like you can go and it's like a bar with an arcade, or you
Yeah.
can
Yeah.
go and it's mainly based around your pets. Kind of like
Yeah.
that out of the box kind of idea. I would like to do something like that.
That's cool. That's a interesting option. I never really thought about that one, but or I
Yeah.
never heard it at least. But that one was a cool one.
Hmm. You got to
Um,
find a kid with a good head on their shoulders.
exactly, exactly, exactly. If you could play another instrument, what would it be and why?
Uh, it would definitely be the saxophone.
Yeah,
Definitely, dude. First
yeah,
off, it's sexy as hell,
yes,
right? And second off, it's sexy as hell. I mean,
yeah,
duh, come
yeah. You
on,
don't
like
don't even need
that's
to. You didn't even need to finish the sentence. I already knew what you're going at for that. So, yeah. Somebody else mentioned saxophones, and that must be a reoccur. I mean, come on. You said it's
yeah.
sexy as hell. So there we go.
Dude,
That's
it's
it.
like that. That's like the only instrument that, even if it's too late at night, if you know how to play that thing, it's
Man,
just so smooth.
it's smooth. It is smooth. You're all right. Um,
Hmm.
so I'm a huge nerd. I don't know if you could tell that, but my favorite video game of all time is Pokemon. So this one is a Pokemon related question.
Oh,
If you could be a Pokemon, what would it be?
oh man. Honestly, my favorite Pokemon is War Turtle. But
Sweet. Okay.
if you ask my band, they'll probably want me to be a Diglett just because I'm bald. Dude, like we're all dorks too. Like
That's
I
great.
think the first time our van broke down,
Oh my god.
we had to kill 2 hours, and
Yeah.
we spent those 2 hours naming all the original 151
151
Pokemon.
hunt. Thank you.
Yeah, dude.
Thank you. Oh man,
Yeah,
this is great. Ah, that was great. The Diglett thing got me though. Oh,
dude.
I'm just gonna have to post like a Diglett thing on your on
Right,
your
right.
band's Facebook page. Be like, what's the difference? Like,
No, who's that Pokemon?
it's Omar. But this one getting back to your band. What is the most memorable moment? I know there are few and far, but there's a lot. I mean, not few and far
Yeah.
between. But if you don't have to just name one, you can name as many
Mm,
as you'd like.
okay. Um, I mean, the most recent one was us going to California to record this next release that we're about to put together for everybody. But the main thing wasn't even us recording it. It was when we had this photo shoot in the desert. It
Oh,
was, I mean,
sweet.
five city boys
in
around
the desert.
rocks without any Snapchat, Instagram service, right? We're
Yeah.
like freaking out. But that was definitely good. We were reflecting and doing that whole, bromance thing.
It's
We
okay.
had that whole thing going on. I mean, other than that, we have had a bunch, but it's like mainly all of them had to do like with situations where something fucked up, and then it was like a come to arms, and we all like fixed it together.
That's cool.
I think the last one was when we were driving from, I think it was from Richmond to Ohio. We
Oh
got
wow.
stuck in PA,
Ooh.
and it was as I like to call it, a user error. Alex, who doesn't drive, doesn't own a license, nothing at all. Um, it was his turn to pump the gas, so he put diesel in our gas.
Oh.
Yeah. So about
Uh.
6, 7 hours later, at like 20-degree weather, we were just sitting there freezing.
Oh my god.
Yeah. So we
That's
had to call and get everything. I mean, everything got fixed, but that was like 8 hours that we
yeah.
can't get back.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah. You will always know him as
No,
Diesel.
I always know him as Diesel now. I'm gonna come to your show and be like, "Yo, is that Diesel right there?"
Yeah, hell yeah. I'm about to buy him a shirt.
This one's, I guess, more personalized to you. In your opinion, who puts on a great live show, as
Mm,
well as what has been your favorite show that you have attended?
okay. I like that.
It's kind of like a
Uh,
two-parter.
hell yeah, hell yeah. As far as the best show, oh man.
I know this is a toughie for like almost everybody.
Hell yeah. I mean, I know, and for those, please don't hate me. I never really got, kind of like you
Yeah.
with Thrice, I never really got into Under Oaths, right?
Ooh.
And Alex and Casey, they got me into them maybe like 3, 4 months ago.
Yeah, yeah,
And I was like, dude, fuck it. I'm just buy the ticket, right? So I bought
yeah,
the tickets, went to the film, checked them out. And them live, I mean, it was phenomenal. It
yeah.
was phenomenal. It's, to be surprised, it wasn't even like the core front. It was, I don't know his name, but the dude that he's either playing keyboards or like
Oh,
doing the
Chris,
tracks.
he's
Oh
nuts. Yeah,
my God, dude. He
he
kept me entertained the entire time.
he's insane. Like he always puts on a great I saw him at like the farewell tour that they did like a few years
Yeah,
back,
yeah.
and he was
Hmm.
just as crazy. So like
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, this is nuts. But
Yeah, he was definitely dope. Um, yeah, that was definitely dope. And I know, like, when I was looking at, because I also like, I feel like every time I go to a show, I'm like taking notes.
yeah,
So it's like I'm
yeah,
also looking at the people behind the scenes, right? So the techs and the guys
yeah,
doing the
yeah.
lighting and sound, everybody was hustling. You
Oh
know?
yeah, of course. But I
Yeah.
mean, like we saw them too, like in Philly,
Hmm.
and
Hmm.
it was sold out. So like
Oh
it was
yeah.
crazy. It was crazy, crazy.
Hmm.
Like we got, I think it was like halfway through like the albums because they did both albums. Obviously, you went, but we got about halfway through, and I was just like, I gotta be on the floor. Like this,
Yeah.
I have to be. Like there's no way. So
Exactly.
like, I think it was me, Chris, and Dan wanted to go, and Nick's kind of the resident old guy because he works like 50 hours a week. And so he's
Yeah.
like, I'm too old to do this. So like, I'm just like, you gotta go down at least one time. And he's like,
Exactly.
nah, it's all right. I'll just stay up here. So I was just like, I'm going down, man. So we like walked down the steps at the Electric
Hmm.
Factory, and we went on the floor. Dude, it was
Yeah.
nuts. So,
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, and with that, like, I also checked out Bring Me the Horizon on this last run,
oh really? How were
and
they?
their dude, their lighting, like the show, everything was just. I felt like I was at like a dubstep like
Oh, that's
trance thing, you
crazy.
know. But their lighting was great, you know. Even like they did like this chandelier effect thing, and it was gorgeous.
That's
Yeah, it was
sick.
good.
I haven't seen
Hmm.
them. I didn't see them the last time, so that's
Hmm.
kind of crazy. But that's cool. Um,
What was the other question?
the favorite show you've been to? I mean, it kind of
Mm,
goes on with like best live show, but I mean, you could pick something
yeah,
different if you wanted.
yeah. I mean, I guess for two different reasons. Just because I feel like Under Oath and Bring Me the Horizon, since they're so out like up there, it's
Yeah.
like duh, it's gonna be a good show. I think it might be the show that I saw Enter Shikari and Let Live on for the first
Oh,
time. Yeah,
nice. That's
yeah. It
cool.
was because it was more organic. You know, it wasn't too many theatrics. It was just them and
Yeah.
both bands. I mean, to Shikari, of course,
Yeah.
killed it. You know, and then Let Live, of course, killed it as
Yeah.
well.
I saw they were on that tour with the Under Oath for the farewell
Yeah,
thing. Dude, Jason is nuts.
yeah.
He is crazy. Like he's
Hell yeah.
legitimately crazy. But he's a nice dude. I've met him like maybe once or twice, but he's
Hmm.
super nice. Um
Yeah.
Speaking of tours, if you could compile a dream tour, what would it
Hmm.
be?
Oh man. Jeez. Now that.
This one's gonna. This one's a stump. This one's probably the biggest stumper question I have.
Hell yeah, dude. If it were up to me and I would just have to like randomly pick, I don't know, man. I mean, I just know I would love to tour with Thrice just because I have to.
Yeah.
Like the 13-year-olds would whoop my ass if I didn't say
If you didn't
them.
say it thrice.
Hell yeah, dude. But yeah, no, I would say, and I guess it would kind of sound weird, but them, the guys in, jeez, what's the name of that band? Kills me every time I die. I fucking love those
Nice.
dudes too.
Okay.
Every time I die, hell yeah. Yeah, and of course, I mean, I'll probably duke it out with Let Live as well.
Yes.
Let's leave it at those three.
That's cool. I like that. I like that lineup a lot, actually. That'd be
Hmm.
a sick tour. Um, there's supposedly a rumor. I don't know if you listen to Beartooth, but there's supposedly a rumor going around that Beartooth's doing a headliner with "Every Time I Die," "Fit for a King," and
Oof.
"Old Wounds." So,
I will definitely be there.
so
I'm a big Beartooth fan as
yeah,
well.
I like their new record. It was really good.
Hell yeah.
Just getting back to kind of the local bands that you were talking about earlier. If you'd like to give like kind of a shout out to like some bands that are in your scene that you think are killing it.
Yeah, I mean, as far as and they're not in our genre at all, but they put as much effort as we do. There's this band called The Great Heights. They're
Nice. Okay.
signed to CI Records, but they're definitely homies. You know, we did Decadence and Solace, those two releases with Eric Taff, who plays guitar in that band.
Nice. Okay.
And I know Neil and Casey in our band, they did a side project together too. So that's definitely another band that puts as much effort as we do
Sweet.
on a daily basis. So
That's
yeah, so
awesome.
shout out to you guys and Great Heights Band.
Awesome. Awesome. Um, this one's a fun question. I have two fun questions actually. The first being favorite TV show, favorite movies.
Oh, those are my favorite questions. Let me tell you, I'm like the soap opera king in the
Are you?
band.
Oh
Hell yeah,
man.
dude. You said favorite movie and favorite show.
Yeah, favorite TV shows and favorite movies.
All right, so my favorite movie by far is The Prestige. If you haven't
Yeah,
seen
nice.
it,
Yeah, I've
if
seen
you
that.
haven't seen it, go watch that shit because it will leave you mind blown. So yeah, that's definitely my favorite movie. Um, you know, another good one, just on the side topic, Finding Dory. I
Was it
fucking
good?
cried. Hell yeah, that shit was
Oh
good, man.
man, I'll have to.
You
I'll
better go
have
watch that shit.
to. I'm gonna go watch. I'll probably go watch it like this week or something.
Yeah, no, that was dope. As far as TV shows, I just finished watching Game of Thrones Sunday. It was crazy. I don't know if
Nice.
you're a Game of Thrones fan,
My
but
Chris, who's does audio addiction, he's a huge Game of Thrones fan, so
hell yeah.
he does those like review sort of things. So,
Oh fuck yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah. So that was definitely a favorite for me. That, I mean, and anything Marvel
nice,
related,
nice.
yeah, or DC Comics. I mean, I've been watching all the whole Flash and all those shows.
Then you'll like Chris's. I'm not trying to plug Chris's channel, but like he does all that stuff. He does like Marvel, Star Wars, all those shits.
Okay,
Yeah, so
dope.
but yeah, the new Captain America is excellent.
Oh, yeah, dude. Oh, you got to tell me. Were you Team Iron Man or Team Captain?
Man, put me on the spot here, man. Uh, are we just going off of like team, like who's on the team, or are we just?
No, 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 no. For what they're fighting for. It's either you're fighting for friendship or you're fighting for family.
Oh my god, it's
That's
tough.
what it boils down
Oh
to.
my god, we're fighting for family. There we go.
Hell yeah, dude. Iron Man all day.
Oh man, I'm gonna get a lot of hate for this shit. Put in the comments hashtag Team Iron Man, hashtag Team Captain America. Who's the
Hell
winner?
yeah.
Who's the winner of this? Uh,
Yeah.
that's great. Next funny question or fun question. Favorite video game series or whatever. It doesn't have to be serious, but favorite video game.
Always. I will always live and die by Chrono Trigger. That is my
Nice.
favorite. I think it's the only game, and my band can tell you, I'm not the biggest gamer in the band, but when I
Chrono
did,
Trigger.
dude, I think I played that game maybe 6 times
Dear
back to back.
God, that's crazy. I
Hmm.
played like a little bit of it, but I'll have to go back and replay it again.
Hell yeah, dude. I'm a suck. I swear, because I played it when I was a kid, of course, and ever since then, I'm a sucker for anything time travel. So it's
That's
like
cool.
if it's in a movie, if it's in a show, oh my god, I go crazy.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Um, Let me see. Last question, I guess. Just talk about your band. If you're doing any tours, like new music, events coming
Yeah,
up, whatever you'd like to talk about. This is
yeah, definitely.
your
Well,
thing.
I don't know when this is coming out, but I know this Friday. So maybe when this came out, the show's already passed. But this Friday, July 1st, we're gonna be playing Rock and Roll Hotel in DC, our first hometown show this year. So that's
Nice.
definitely gonna be dope.
Awesome.
In August, we're trying to see if we can get back on the road for about 2.5, 3 weeks. We're going to be doing a little bit of, the Midwest and a little bit of the East Coast, Northeast. So we're going to be all over. So we'll definitely hit you up when we hit up Jersey, because we're
Nice.
definitely
Nice.
going to Jersey.
Awesome. Okay. Sweet.
As far as like new music, of course, Decadence and Solace is out. I think we
Yes.
might be putting a little video together. Not sure what it's going to be based around, but we are doing that. And then as far as the new music, everyone keeps asking us when. This might be the first time we take some time back and make sure everything's done correctly.
Yeah.
So I want to say, if not late 2016, it'll probably be early
Early.
2017 to be
Awesome.
safe.
Yes. Yeah. You don't want to. There was a band that I did a review interview with, and they like spilled some like secret information, and they were like,
Yeah.
Can you cut this out?" So I was like, "Yeah." I was like, "I'll cut it out." So I cut it out, but that was hilarious. So I'm glad you didn't kind of spill the beans on that one, but
Hell yeah.
um,
You guys will kill me.
yeah, we'll talk about the event coming up on tonight's episode. So,
Sweet.
but this will go out a little bit later than that, but we'll definitely talk about that tonight.
Cool
But
beans.
thanks a lot, Omar. I really
Anytime.
appreciate you coming to say what's up to me on the Audio Dixon channel. Go check out their band In Her Memory. Did I say it right?
In your memory.
Ah, damn it.
It's fine. You were close enough.
In your memory.
There you go.
Check them out. I will make sure to leave all the things in the description. Like Facebook, Twitter, everything. There. I think they have a website. Correct? You have a website.
Yep. IYMofficial.com. Yep.
And then they have all their music up there. And make sure you subscribe to the channel. Make sure you like the video. If you like their band, go check them out. Subscribe to them as well. And thanks again, Omar. I really appreciate it, man.
Anytime, man. Peace.
All right,
Thank you.
Take it easy, guys.